Listen to me, some of you are talking too much. You're telling everybody your moves, your dreams, your goals. You're posting every little step on social media. You're looking for validation, for claps, for likes. And that's why you're stuck. Silence is power. See, you don't need to announce what you're about to do. Just do it. You don't need a standing ovation every time you take a step. Get up, show up, lock in, put in the work, and let your success make the noise. Stop wasting energy proving to people who don't even care. They ain't watching to support you, they're watching to see if you'll fall. So stop feeding them. Starve the doubters with silence and feed your future with action. Focus on you, not your friend, not your competition, not what they said about you. Because at the end of the day, it's your race, your story, your grind. And guess what? Winners aren't loud, they're focused. You don't need to convince anybody of anything when you're doing the work in the dark. Do it when no one's clapping. Do it when no one's watching. Do it when no one believes in you. That's how greatness is built, in the shadows. Look, lions don't need to tell you they're lions. They just hunt. They just eat. They just dominate. You don't hear them talking. You see their results. So wake up every day with that fire in your chest and that vision in your mind. Stay humble, stay grounded, and stay quiet until it's time to roar. Grind in silence, win in public. Because the loudest one in the room usually has the least to show. But the focused one, the silent one, they're unstoppable. So today, make a decision. Focus on yourself and stay silent. 1. Silence is power. Talking less and doing more builds real strength. Don't announce every move. Let your results speak. 2. Stop seeking validation. You don't need likes, claps, or approval to be great. External validation can distract you from internal growth. 3. Work in the dark. True success is built behind the scenes when no one is watching. Consistency in silence creates champions. 4. Focus on your own path. Stop comparing yourself to others. Your journey is unique. Stay in your lane and master it. 5. Let success make the noise. Actions speak louder than words. Let your wins, progress, and outcomes do the talking. 6. Stay humble. Stay hungry. Lions don't brag, they hunt. Keep your head down. Stay disciplined and rise without shouting. See, I need you to understand something real right now. Silence is power. When you're quiet, you're dangerous. When you're locked in, when you're focused, when you're not distracted by clout or attention or applause, that's when you become a threat. Because while everybody else is out there making noise, trying to look the part, you're in the shadows building something real. You're putting in the reps, putting in the hours, and you're not saying a word. That's power. You ever seen a storm come? It don't announce itself. It don't post about it. It just comes, and when it hits, you feel it. That's how I need you to be. I need you to move in silence and hit with force. No warning, no explanation, just results. Look, the reason some of y'all ain't getting to the next level is because you too loud. You leaking energy every time you open your mouth. Every time you tell somebody your plans, you let a little bit of that energy go. And now, when it's time to execute, you got nothing left. You drained yourself talking instead of grinding. Stop talking about what you're gonna do and start doing it. Stop telling people about your goals and show them the outcome. You don't need to announce every move. You just need to make the move. You don't need approval. You need action. You don't need applause. You need execution. The greatest threats are always the quietest in the room. Why? Because they ain't got time to talk. They too busy working. I'm telling you from experience, every time I went silent, every time I turned off the noise, blocked out the distractions, stopped explaining myself, I leveled up. Every single time. That's not a coincidence. That's a principle. The moment you go quiet, the moment you tune out the world and tune into your purpose, everything shifts. Everything changes. So stop explaining yourself. Stop sharing your vision with people who don't have the capacity to see it. Stop making noise. Be still. Be focused. Be silent. And then let your results shake the room. Let your work speak so loud that you ain't got to say a thing. You wanna be great. You wanna be legendary. Then shut your mouth and go to work. You waking up every morning, and the first thing you check is your phone, looking for likes, looking for comments, looking for someone to approve your existence. But let me ask you this. What if nobody claps? What if nobody likes it? What if nobody believes in you? Are you still gonna grind? Are you still gonna show up? Or is your effort only good when it's being noticed? That's the trap, that's the lie. Because real success, it don't need an audience. Real greatness, it don't beg for attention. You think I needed applause at 3 a.m. when I was homeless, sleeping in abandoned buildings, grinding for my future. You think I had a crowd cheering me on when I was pushing through pain, through fear, through doubt. Nah, it was just me, my God, and my grind, period. Some of y'all got dreams, but you keep putting them on hold because you're waiting for someone to tell you it's okay. You want a green light from people who ain't even chasing their own dreams. You're looking for approval from folks who don't have the vision you have, who don't understand the fire burning in your chest. And that's why you're stuck. Because every time they doubt you, every time they don't react the way you wanted, you start shrinking. You start questioning yourself. You pull back. But let me give you the truth. You don't need their permission. You don't need their claps. You don't need a standing ovation to be great. You just need to believe in yourself when nobody else does. You just need to put your head down, shut out the noise, and keep moving forward. Stop posting your goals, go achieve them. Stop asking people if it's good enough, go make it better. Stop waiting to be noticed, go be undeniable. When your work is real, when your hustle is authentic, when your grind is consistent, people won't be able to ignore it. And by then, you won't even care if they clap, because you'll know who you are. You'll know what you've built. So if you really want to win, stop chasing likes. Start chasing legacy. Stop asking for validation. Start building value. And understand this. The only approval you need is the one you give yourself. You want to win, but you don't want to suffer in silence. You want results, but you don't want to do the unseen work. But I got news for you. It don't work like that. You can't have the glory without the grind. You can't have the prize without the process. The spotlight you're chasing, it only shows up after you've put in work, when nobody was paying attention. I was waking up at 3 in the morning when nobody cared. I was putting in work, giving motivational speeches in classrooms and shelters when there was no paycheck, no platform, no applause. Just grind, just faith, just vision, and you know what? That's when I got strong. That's when I built the muscle. That's when I found out who I really was. Too many of y'all are waiting for the perfect moment. You waiting for the audience, the money, the motivation. But success don't come to the ones who wait. It comes to the ones who work. It comes to the ones who are willing to put in the hours with no recognition, no praise, no spotlight. Just the grind, just the dirt, just the dark, You keep looking for inspiration online, scrolling for motivation, hoping someone will fire you up. But let me ask you, can you motivate yourself in silence? Can you push when no one's pushing you? Can you believe in the vision when all you see is the struggle? That's what separates average from elite. That's what creates the unstoppable, not talent, not followers, not attention. It's the ability to go to work when it's cold, when it's lonely, when it's thankless. It's the discipline to stay locked in when no one's looking, and when you train in the dark long enough. Eventually, the light comes. Eventually, they see what you built. Eventually, the world will say, "Where did you come from?" And you'll smile because you know you came from the dark. You came from the grind they couldn't see. You came from the discipline they didn't respect. So stop waiting for the light. Stop waiting for recognition. Get comfortable in the shadows. Embrace the silence. That's where your greatness is born. That's where the work gets done. That's where the future is shaped. No excuses, no complaints, just grind. Let me tell you something. Comparison is the thief of all progress. You're so worried about how far they are. You can't even see how far you've come. You trying to run their race, live their life, walk in their shoes. But you were never designed for their path. Your gift, it's unique. Your process, it's yours. And if you keep looking around, you'll miss the very thing that was meant to elevate you. You weren't called to copy. You were called to create. But you can't create when your eyes are on everybody else's canvas. You can't elevate when your energy is scattered. You gotta lock in. You gotta zone in on your assignment. Because the truth is, what's for you is for you. But you'll never get it if you're chasing what belongs to someone else. See, when I was on my journey broke, struggling, hustling, I couldn't afford to look at nobody else. I had to put my head down and grind. I wasn't watching what other speakers were doing. I wasn't worried about how many gigs they booked or how big their stage was. I was focused on my mission. I was focused on my purpose. And that's why I made it. Not because I was the most talented, but because I stayed in my lane. You gotta stop measuring your progress by someone else's timeline. Just because they hit success at 25 doesn't mean you're behind at 30. Just because their business blew up in 6 months doesn't mean yours isn't gonna explode after 2 years. Your pace is your pace. Stop rushing the process because someone else looks like they're ahead. You know what winners do. They run their race. They don't look to the side. They don't worry about the next lane. They focus on their form, their breathing, their stride. They stay in rhythm. That's how they win. Not by watching the competition, but by mastering themselves. And hear me, when you finally lock in on your path, when you stop comparing, when you stop envying, when you stop copying, you become dangerous. Because now you're tapping into your own potential. Now you're unlocking what's inside of you. Now you're walking in your power. So today, I need you to make a decision. Eyes forward. Head down, heart focused. Forget what they're doing. Forget what they've achieved. Your time is coming, but only if you stay true to your grind, your lane, your calling. This is your race. Own it, and run it like your life depends on it. You out here explaining yourself to people who ain't never gonna believe in you no matter what. You posting every little move, every goal, every update, trying to get people to clap for something you haven't even finished yet. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to explain greatness, you just live it, you just be it. Success is loud enough on its own. When you've been in the dark putting in the work day after day, night after night, your results will scream. And when they scream, nobody can deny it. They might have ignored you before, They might have laughed, doubted, talked down. But they won't be able to say a thing when they see what you built. You want to be respected. Don't ask for it. Earn it. You want to be seen. Then stop shouting and show up with results. When your name starts showing up in rooms you've never entered, when your work speaks before you even say hello, that's power. That's the type of noise I want you making. See, too many people try to skip the grind and go straight to the glory. They want the credit before they've put in the commitment. But it doesn't work like that. If you don't put in the reps, if you don't put in the hours, if you don't sacrifice behind closed doors, you're never gonna have a story loud enough to shake the world. You don't need to tell folks you're disciplined, they'll see it in how you move. You don't have to say you're committed. They'll feel it in how consistent you are. You don't need to argue your value. They'll know it when they see what you bring to the table. And the best part, when your success is loud, you can stay silent. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to explain yourself. Your results will speak a language everybody understands. Facts. The money, the respect, the progress, the transformation. It all speaks louder than words ever could. So do me a favor, stop talking, start building, stop bragging, start becoming. Every second you spend trying to prove yourself is a second you could be using to improve yourself. You want to shake the room, then let your results hit like thunder. Grind so hard they gotta come find you. Win so consistently they can't ignore you. Be so good they have to respect you, not because you said so, but because your work left no doubt. Let your success do the talking. You out here trying to impress people with what you've got instead of building what you need. You're too comfortable. You hit one goal and now you acting like you made it. One win and you think the work is done. Nah, winners don't celebrate too long. They reset, refocus, and reload. When I was sleeping in abandoned buildings, nobody knew me. I didn't need to be known. I needed to grow. I needed to survive, and that pain, that struggle, it kept me humble. It kept me hungry. I didn't feel entitled to anything. I knew I had to earn everything, and that hunger, that's what pushed me past the pain. That's what built the beast in me. You see, the problem with some of you is, you get a little success, and you start talking like you arrived. You stop waking up early. You stop pushing like you used to. You get lazy because the world gave you a little praise. But listen to me. Praise can poison your progress if you're not careful. The minute you start believing you've arrived, that's the same moment you stop getting better. That's why the real ones stay humble. They know that success is rented, not owned, and the rent is due every single day. They don't get caught up in hype. They don't let success change their identity. In fact, the higher they go, the lower they bow. Because they understand the climb doesn't stop. It just gets steeper. And don't get it twisted, humility ain't weakness. It's confidence without arrogance. It's power with discipline. It's knowing you can dominate, but choosing to lead with grace. It's staying grounded when everybody else is losing their mind. But it's not just about being humble. You gotta be hungry too. You gotta wake up every day like you haven't eaten yet. You gotta grind like everything is on the line, because it is. Every opportunity, every second, every breath matters. Stay in pursuit. Stay chasing. Stay desperate to improve. When you stay humble and hungry, you become unstoppable. Because now your ego ain't in the way. Your head ain't too big to learn. Your spirit ain't too tired to keep pushing. You can take criticism, adjust your game, and keep moving forward while everybody else gets caught up in ego or applause. So I'm challenging you today. Don't let success make you soft. Don't let the spotlight blind you from the mission. Be the lion that hunts even after it's full. Be the warrior that trains even in peace. Stay grounded. Stay driven. Stay in beast mode. Stay humble. Stay hungry. Let's go.